Insiders, and man, are we excited to be here today.
It's a party, baby!
What is going on, everybody? Happy Thursday to you all, and welcome to another edition of the Insiders. We are here, and we've got a full plate because this is the last show we're going to have before the crazy week that we've got coming up, and there is stuff going on again. We seem like we say this every single Thursday, but that's true again. As always, with me is Jeff. Jeff, man, there is a lot of crap going on today.
Man, there's a lot of stuff going on. But listen, I mean, it gives us a lot to talk about. So, sometimes people just don't, they don't really care about me putting together graphics. So that, that's the only part about breaking news, but it's all good.
And as you can all see, that is our new entrance. I hope those of you who didn't get to see it saw it tonight if you weren't here last week. So yes, kudos to Jeff, obviously, for changing things up. And the beginning of the show is awesome. New music, new entrance, a lot of stuff. And including, this is our last Thursday night show. We're not quitting. We're not leaving. We're just moving. So, and we're kind of been forced into that by Impact Wrestling, because this will be our new Impact Wrestling night for the watch alongs. So this show will be heading on down the road to Saturdays at the same time. So we will be on Saturday. So don't forget to hit your reminders if you need to, but we will be going on with this on Saturdays moving forward. So this will be the last one. Now, next week, obviously, we will not have one because we just got way too much going on. I'll go over that really quickly. And then we'll say hello, and then we'll get right into it. So Monday, we will be streaming Monday Night Raw. We will be starting. What's the start time, Jeff? Because what are you thinking? 7:30? 7:30? Sounds good. All right. So 7:30, we'll be streaming Raw. So make sure you join us for that. We don't usually do Monday Night Raw, so it'll be a little bit different. So make sure you join us for Monday Night Raw. Now, of course, all over the news today, they have been taped. So Raw has been taped, and so has SmackDown. We'll get into that in a little bit. Tuesday, we will not be doing Impact this week. We will instead be doing the Hall of Fame. So, which looks like it's going to be a really fun show. They showed some pictures of that. That's already been taped as well. I think I still, it's weird because I still haven't seen a time confirmed. Have you seen it? Is it 8 o'clock?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't either. I haven't seen a time confirmed for that. I think it's 8 o'clock. So if it's 8 o'clock, again, we'll probably be starting that around 7:30-ish, around that time as well. But that should be fun. So many people that have been inducted that we could talk about. We'll have fun. We'll talk about classic wrestling. It'll be a good time. Wednesday, Thursday, we will be with DJ B. Tazzy, and we will be doing NXT TakeOver. I saw the show last night, and man, they really set that up very, very well. And that looks like it's going to be an amazing takeover. So join us for that. Friday, we'll take a little bit of a breather, but we will have our WrestleMania prediction show on Friday night. That will be after SmackDown, which of course was also taped. And probably like 10:05-ish, give you guys enough time to get off and get a drink or something after SmackDown. So, and then Saturday, Sunday, WrestleMania. It is already WrestleMania time. So crazy, crazy, crazy. So 2-night WrestleMania. They did confirm no pre-show, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But no pre-show. They are starting right in at 7 o'clock. They will be going until 10:30 each night. So 7 to 10:30 both nights. And so there's our week ahead. It is crazy. We have a ton of stuff on our plate, tons of streaming. We will be streaming every single day of the week. I'm tired just thinking about it. And you can see Jeff is too. So there's our schedule. let's say hello to some people, and we'll get right down to it, and we'll get to the start of our show. So Kevin Correa, yo, yo, yo. Melinda Ford, hello. Jen Carter, hello, Jen. Rusty Shackelford, what's up, everyone? What's up, Rusty? James Chadwick, what's up, James? How are you? We have a lot of people talking to each other. We have Conrad is here. Hello, Conrad. How are you doing? Did you hit the 5,000? If not, if you guys haven't subscribed to, or I'm sorry, followed Everything Pro Wrestling, please go ahead and do that. He was very close to 5,000, I know, yesterday, I think 2 away. So if you haven't yet followed Conrad's channel, please go ahead and do that. That would be awesome. Hello to Cheese Whiz. Hello to Azan. Hello to Big Dan. Yes, we are. Are you ready? Yes, we are. Hayden Garrett. Hello, Hayden. Delanio. Hello to you. Sean. Hello to you. Moda. Before I go any further, I want to just bring attention to something because I just changed up our Twitter page. Please remember that April 2nd is Autism Awareness Day. It's a close thing to my heart. And of course, it was mentioned by Moda because Moda's daughter is autistic. So, so Moda just kind of asked us if we could kindly bring attention to it, which I have no problem doing. My wife works in that field. She is a teacher of autistic children. And it is a big, big thing in the world, big, big thing in the United States. I've been to several autism events, autism walks, things like that. So, if you want to know more about it, you don't know much about it, check it out. If you want to donate to any of the foundations, I did tell Moda that, we would check with him because he would probably know that a little bit better than I would. I'm sure my wife knows, about it as well. But yeah, check with Moda if you want to donate, or even if you want to just, make yourself aware. We kind of changed our logo into the autism puzzle piece, and I will keep that all through April 2nd as a way to show our awareness and that obviously that we care. So thank you, Moda, for bringing that to our attention. Really, really appreciate that. Hayden Garrett, hello. Cult of Wyndham 83. Yes, Godzilla versus Kong. I have not been able to watch it yet. Probably tonight, maybe. Gene is here. Hello. Sean Rousset is here. What's up, Sean? Butter Spark, what's going on? DJ Kryptonock is here. Let Him In is here. Chris is here. What's going on, Chris? How are you tonight? Hope you are well. Let me see. Texas base Raslin fan 1442. What's going on with you? Hope you are well. Catching up on NXT right now. Yeah, it was a good show, dude. It was a really good show. All right. I think I got a hello out to everybody. So let's get into the news, Jeff, because we've got some breaking news.
Breaking news.
Well, always stuff going on, Jeff. Always stuff going on.
I'll start with this screen because, I didn't prep a news graphic for the news that you shared with me. So if you want to go ahead and go into detail on that.
Yeah, perfectly all right. I mean, it just happened a little bit ago. So I'm sure you guys, a lot of you have heard, a lot of you keep up with all of this stuff on the Twitter machine. So yes, apparently, and I alluded to this a little earlier, that SmackDown was taped. Well, SmackDown is now a pre-show. Basically, that's the reason why they decided they're not doing a pre-show. SmackDown is a pre-show. They are going to do the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, the men's Battle Royal on SmackDown. They're also going to have a 4-way tag team match as well between, I think it's the champs, the Street Profits, Gable and Otis and the Mysterios. I believe that's the lineup that they have there. They're also going to have, of course, Edge and Roman and Daniel Bryan will all be there as well. So that is basically taking the place of the pre-show. They're also saying they're going to have a women's battle royal, but it's a kind of a tag team battle royal, and then whoever wins that will get a shot at the women's tag team titles. So that's what's going on. They don't want the first thing on Saturday to be a match. They want to welcome back fans in a huge way. Yeah, there's a lot of rumors even going around about that's saying that that could be that Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley may lead off a show, which is mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing. But Drew had made a comment, I guess it was a year ago this time when COVID happened, that he really wanted to be the first one out at WrestleMania. So maybe they're giving him his wish, and maybe that's what we see. But that's a hell of a start if they're going to do that.
Yeah.
So very cool. So that broke today. They also did. Look, today was April Fool's. Did you get fooled? There was a lot of that going along. There was a countdown on WWE's Twitter, I think, with a Stone Cold Steve Austin thing, and then there was a bunch of telling you, and I think it turned out to be nothing. Most of the people that were commenting on it were saying April Fools. There's a lot of gotchas out there today because, of course, it was April Fool's Day. So that's the breaking news. That's in place of any pre-show. Like I said, there will be no pre-shows on Mania. So that will be a SmackDown pre-show. Now, be careful because both of those shows were taped. So if you don't want to ruin it, like I usually do for myself, don't go out and search it because you will probably be able to find results. They're probably trying to keep them very, very quiet, but you could find anything if you look hard enough. So if you don't want to spoil this stuff, don't go looking because these have all already been pre-taped. So there you go. So that was our breaking news from today. And what else do we have in the news, Jeff?
NXT. Moving on to Tuesdays.
Finally, huh? We had talked about this a while back. It was rumored in a lot of different places, actually, and we never got an announcement. And everybody kept saying, "Well, it's going to be after after WrestleMania. It's going to be after Mania," and nothing. And then finally, we got a confirmation that said that NXT will indeed be moving to Tuesday nights. So the war is over. It's over. The war on Wednesday is done. Yeah. Look, it's good for both companies. It really is. Get them away from each other. Let them perform. Let people watch what they want to watch when they want to watch it. Don't make them have to choose. It's a good thing, I think, for both. And then, of course, Impact got out of the way and moved back to Thursdays, which was a good, smart idea for them as well because there's just way too much now going on Mondays and Tuesdays. So with NWA and with AEW Dark and with things like that. So Impact just got out of the way, went back to a day that they used to be on. So I think it's a good decision, Jeff. And, we had, like I said, we talked about this for a while. It's not really, brand new news, but yeah, they finally did make it official.
Yeah. I mean, it's good that they finally, said it. I mean, we've all been hearing about it for months, anticipating it. So I'm just glad the darn war is over. Like that. I say war loosely because it was just ridiculous, and crazy fans blew it way out of proportion. And it's just like I'm glad that now it's okay. AEW has its own night, NXT has its own night. Let's forget that.
Yep.
And
let's go, man.
Let's move on.
Let's go. Yeah. You know what? Like I said, and if I can go now without hearing the word demos, I can go without hearing the word demos for, I work in an electronics store and we get actual demos of devices. Whenever I hear that word, I cringe. Let's get rid of the word demos so we don't have to care. We don't have to talk about it anymore because who cares? Who cares? Let's just move on, like Jeff said. And let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy what we want to enjoy. Watch what we want to watch when we want to watch it. You don't have to tape something and watch it later. You can just watch what you want to watch, and I love it. I think it's going to be good for both shows. I think it's going to be good for wrestling fans. Now you don't make them choose and make a decision. I think it's a great move.
Yep.
Did anyone else join? Wally. Hello, Wally. Do we think Alexa Bliss should have her own mask? That's a rumor that's going around. I did see that actually. Some kind of report that was out there that was saying that there's going to be a huge entrance for Bray Wyatt, huge entrance, and that Alexa may get a mask. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of speculation going on about that match. I have no doubt. So, yeah, I mean, look, I'm down for anything horror stuff. They give her own mask. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, if it looks anything like the Fiend mask, Jeff, damn, dude.
Oh, man.
I'm in.
Definitely in for that. I know what you wouldn't be in for, but we won't.
I did. Yeah. Let's. That's. There are things I would draw the line at. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So what have we got next in the news, Jeff?
Right, man. So Joe was very vocal about this last week, but Daniel Bryan has been added to the Universal Championship match. So yeah, figured we would talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, man, I still don't know how I feel about this. Look, I know why. I know the whys behind the what. I know why they did it. And it's not because of Edge being old and he looks old, whoever broke that story. And it's not because of, it's not stupid reasons. They did it because they want to have a face that everybody can get behind, which is the that's the biggest thing about it. Daniel Bryan right now is, again, he's in that same position where he was all those years ago. And he is he's the face of this right now. So Edge now is kind of a tweener. I mean, he's kind of out for himself, and Roman, of course, is the heel. So I still don't know that I like it, but I know why they did it. And what it's going to do is whoever ends up winning, whether they are going to give the belt to Edge. Now I've been hearing more and more of the little chatter saying that they're going to give the belt to Daniel. So, which shocks me, but that, whoever wins now, it doesn't have to have Roman losing.
Right.
So that's the whole thing here, is that Roman isn't going to be made to look bad, regardless of what happens here, whether they give the Edge the belt or whether they give it to Daniel. Neither one of them will have it very long. I could tell you that much. And what it could lead to with Roman is it might lead to some reinforcements where he might bring in Jimmy Uso and have more added to the family and just make the family grow, something along those lines. But yeah, I mean, I see why they're doing it. Do I love it? No, but I think it probably will be a good match, though, Jeff. I think it's going to be an exciting match to watch.
It'll be a great match. I mean, I don't think there's any question there. And I've got to say this. For people that don't like Roman Reigns, one thing you can't say, you can't really knock his in-ring work either.
Yep.
One of the big knocks on Roman, in terms of just getting there are two, but his work on the mic, some people were not a fan of, and his in-ring work. Well, if you watch that match with Daniel Bryan, good match.
Yeah.
I mean, really good match. So, but no, Daniel Bryan got added to this because they don't want Roman to eat the pin.
Right.
Somebody's got to eat it. So whether it's Daniel Bryan or Edge, I don't think you really halt the momentum of either guy.
Yep.
With a pin or a submission. But I think they're protecting Roman here, so it's not going to be like he's going to eat that pin, because that would just ruin everything they've done since he's gotten back. So
agreed.
So I just think that they'll have Daniel or Edge eat the pin. I think it's interesting though that you heard that Daniel's supposed to win, because it's like where are you going with that?
Yeah, and you don't know. Like I said, who the hell knows? You hear all these rumors going around. There's going to be rumors galore now. It's Mania week, so you're going to hear every rumor under the sun.
Right.
But the interesting thing to me in this now is, and it's almost like a what to watch for between Daniel and Edge. Where do those guys go next? Is Edge going to then start a feud with Daniel? Is that what's going to come from this? Because what I'm thinking this is going to be, guys, is I think that WrestleMania is going to end up being a giant reset button. I really do. I think WrestleMania is going to be a reset button for a lot of feuds, a lot of things going on, and I think it's going to be a big reset button. And I think they're going to, especially for Raw, I think they're gonna hit the reset button here, and they are gonna just change everything with Monday Night Raw going forward. There was a writer fired over this past week, so it just seems as if that that's what it looks like, and I think that's what's going to happen. So whether Edge sticks around, does he just kind of go away for a while and come back for SummerSlam because he's not signed for many matches? So maybe he just leaves for a little bit, comes back. And I don't know, starts up with whoever again, or does he go on with Daniel? I think that's a little more what's interesting to me with this, because whoever wins, whether it's Roman and he just carries on doing what he's doing, or whether it's Edge or Daniel, they're not keeping that belt probably past the next pay-per-view, even if it's that long, because we've seen title changes on Raw and stuff and SmackDown too. So,
yeah. Yeah, but I agree with that. They need to hit the reset button. Hopefully that reset button comes with some changes in who we see prominently.
Yeah. Yep.
Hopefully we start to see some other people kind of eking up towards the top of that mid card, and maybe even getting into some main event action. So
yep.
We'll see.
Yep. There's been a Keith Lee rumor as well floating around today that he may be back on Raw. There's been an Aleister Black rumor going around. So, yeah, it's that time of year, guys. Magic Banana says I'm going to bed. Good night, Magic Banana. In my opinion, I think the best storyline they got is Alexa Bliss, Bray Wyatt, Fiend, Randy Orton. Well, yeah, on Raw. I agree. And the only one that I thought would have been right up there with that, we'll talk about a little bit later, because so there's a little teaser for later in the show. Yeah. All right, what is next, Jeff?
All right, man. So we found out on Tuesday that Jazz and Deonna will face off at Hardcore Justice, and it will be title versus career. And we'll talk a little bit more about our thoughts about what we want to see in this match. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting match. And thank you, Moda, for that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much, Moda. You didn't have to do that. Hey, Insiders, thanks for all you do. We appreciate it. Those donations, not Rusty Shackelford level, bro. Love Rusty. But every little bit counts. Blessings to you all in the chat in this community. Yeah, we appreciate that, dude. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, man. No problem at all. You're a valued member of the community. And like I said before, I appreciate you bringing attention to a wonderful thing to bring attention to. So really appreciate that. So, but yes, Deonna and Jazz, this was announced on Tuesday. They are announcing, you know what? We talked about Hardcore Justice. It looks like it's going to be a fun little show. I'm kind of pissed I'm going to miss it. It looks like it's going to be a fun little show to watch. Yeah, I mean, the matches seem cool. There seems like a lot of fun stuff that's going to be going on with that. And yeah, I'm upset I'm not going to see it. But yes, career versus title. And like Jeff said, we'll talk about this a little bit more at length. But interesting. And again, take a step back and look at, J-Hub saying Jazz going to lose the match. She'll become a trainer. She does have her own school, Jeff mentioned. So yeah, I mean, look, if that's what you're going to do, then maybe this was Jazz's last hurrah. And she did really well when she was there. She was involved in a lot of stuff. She got involved in title matches. And look, how cool is it that Impact is giving her a title shot as kind of her, if that is going to be her last time in Impact, she's going out with a title shot, which is pretty cool. Very similar to kind of what they did with Tommy, except for Tommy is sticking around. Tommy didn't go anywhere, but they gave him that shot against Rich Swann. So that's kind of cool. So, but yeah, I think it's cool, Jeff. I think it's a cool way. If it is indeed her time to go, I think it's a cool way to go out.
Yeah, I mean, no better way. I mean, we kind of thought that Tommy was going to pull that card with us.
Yeah.
I forget which one it was, but yeah, I thought Tommy was going to do that to us too. But I mean, it's good to see her in a prominent storyline.
Yep.
She's been in a prominent storyline since she debuted for Impact. So yeah, it's just I'm glad she gets this opportunity. We'll talk a little bit about whether or not we think she should win this a little bit later.
Yep.
Hint, wink, wink. But
teaser,
really a little bit of a teaser. But yeah, I love that. I love the fact that she's in the match. And I'll talk a little bit about what I hope happens when we get to that particular segment.
Big Dan, if they literally announce that DK is going to wrestle the Good Brothers on that show, I'm going to flip the F out.
Yes.
I will find Scott D'Amore's DMs email at some point, somehow, some way, and I will get the word out to him. Like, what the F are you doing to me, man? Like, what are you doing to me? Yeah. Oh man. But yeah. Look, I think it's cool. I think, like I said, if you guys aren't doing anything Sunday afternoon, I know it's a big day. I know you got Mania coming at 7:00. They'll probably have various other shows and stuff on the Peacock network going on, and you might have stuff going on online and stuff like that. But if you're not, watching actual wrestling and you kind of like doing that and you enjoy Impact, give it a watch. I think it's going to be a fun show.
I'll be watching before we go on. So
yes, Susan. Yeah, we had that little tease with yeah. And if Sue Young shows back up, I'm going to be pissed off about that too.
Same. I'll be mad for you.
Oh, dude, that's watch. It'll happen. It'll happen.
You know what? Sue Young will make a comeback, and Decay will main event. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to take more Pepto in a little bit now. Oh man! All right, Jeff.
Please don't do that to Joe. He's had enough already.
What is next?
Man.
Oh boy.
This breakup. I don't know how to feel about it, man.
Well, I'll tell you how I feel about it. Watch, ready? Wah, wah, wah. What the hell? Like, I sometimes, and again, this is a teaser for something. Yes. Thank you. That is how I feel about it. I'm no selling the breakup of the Hurt Business. Look, sometimes I just don't understand why they do the things they do. It just doesn't make sense to me. And the thing we talked about on the show last week was the whole Rhea Ripley thing with Asuka as a thing that just confused the hell out of me. But we may have come up with a reason why, and we'll talk about that a little later. But I don't get this. I just don't get it. They were the top faction there was. No question. It was a great gimmick. They had things going for them. And now the thing I want to know, obviously you have Bobby with that title. Now, how long does Bobby have that title? And if Bobby loses to Drew, which is probably a pretty good shot that he's going to, if he loses to Drew, that's it. Like, that's it. These guys are done. And then, with Shelton, I don't know, man. You just seemed like you had momentum going and you had something good, and then bang, just like that, it's done. And I don't know. This one just boggled my mind. I had no idea that it was coming. I had no idea they would do it this soon, especially before Mania. I had no idea. And I just this just boggled my mind, man. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand the timing behind it. But like I said, maybe we have a little bit of a reason, which we'll talk about in a little bit, Jeff.
I didn't get it. I mean, I know that the teasers have been there for months.
Right.
With Cedric and them having their little spats, and I mean, you could see Bobby getting frustrated at different times. So There are rumors, like I have this comment here on the screen. There are rumors that the group is being repackaged. If some of the rumors are true, I'm in love with it. Absolutely in love with it. One of the rumors that I heard, and this was not on a dirt sheet site or anything like that, and I don't want to give my source away. But one of the things I heard is that there's a possibility that it's going to be MVP, Bobby Lashley, Keith Lee, Mia Yim,
okay,
possibly Naomi, and Ricochet.
I'd be okay with that.
That's what I've heard. Now, I don't know how true that is. I just know what I was told. And I was told, don't be surprised if this happens. And I was like, okay, I would be okay with that if that's what they end up doing. If that's what they end up doing, I would love to see them, because at that point, you've got, and I would even throw in Mustafa Ali in there as well, because what you can have is you can have someone go after the Raw Tag Team Championships, the Women's Tag Team Championships.
Yep.
And maybe Lashley is still the champion at that point for another little bit. And then you've got the gold there, and then you got to find some kind of way to get MVP the U.S. title at least one more time, since that's a belt he's so synonymous with, and let them hold all the gold, even if it's just for a month. Hold some gold and do his thing. But yeah, that's what I've heard. So, I hope that I'm not speaking out of turn with that person, but it's out of the bag now. So if it happens,
I'm down with that. It would kind of make sense too, because they had that thing out of the blue where Mustafa and Ricochet both wrestled Drew. So that would kind of make some sense in that respect, because they kind of have a little bit of beef with him now. The fact that he just came out and just buried both of them. So yeah, okay, I could see that. And like I said, there are rumors that Keith Lee is going to show up on Monday. So if he does, that would be just more muscle for the group. I just do not. And look, I get where they got this from. I do not need to see Baron Corbin in the Hurt Business. I do not need to see Baron Corbin. I know where they went there. Because they used to have the trio of them. It used to be it was Corbin, Lashley, and Drew when they were all heels. And I get it. They had that little bit of relationship where they went there and stuff like that and everything. But I do not want to see Baron Corbin in the Hurt Business. So I'm hoping that's not going to happen. And even if it does, there goes the whole draft thing again, because that means that Corbin's going to be put over on Raw. And yeah. So we won't even get into that. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah, look, hopefully it's not permanent. Hopefully it is just a shakeup. And like we said, they're going to maybe push the reset button, and they're going to change that up, and they're going to change it for Monday Night Raw. And maybe it'll be even bigger and better. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. If that's what they're going to do, then cool. But otherwise, if they did it just to do it, yeah, I'm not cool with it. So
not good with it. Not good.
Yep. All right.
All right, last topic in the news. Chris Statlander is back. She had I think she tore her ACL, and she's been away for a while, but she's back on AEW, Joe.
Yeah, it was a good return. She's exciting to watch. And she's very popular. When she was on the show prior, I like her gimmick. It's kind of a goofy little, kind of a crazy gimmick, but I dig it. It's out there. It's different. I think she's very athletic. I think she's good at what she does. And you have Britt Baker, you have Thunder Rosa. So, they're starting to build up, they're building that women's division up. And I like it. Anytime you give that division more time, they've got Big Swole, give that women's division more time. If she's going to bring more time and more eyes to it, fantastic. But I like it. I like her as an athlete. I like her as a wrestler, and I do like her gimmick. And I think she will bring more eyes to that women's division. And hopefully she gets a chance to excel. And, they put more than one match on AEW Dynamite every week for the women. So
I'm happy to see her back. Followed her a good bit on the indies, and then was really happy that she got that opportunity. And honestly, when you think back to it, she was actually in some prominent stuff before she got injured. So, it is a goofy gimmick. She's walking around booping people.
yes.
But hey,
yes.
Hopefully she gets to do some good stuff there. I want to see. I know that this is too fast right now, but I really want to see her and Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker and have all these folks mix it up and
agreed,
shake things up in the division. I love Sheeta. I mean, as much as the next person, but I really, really want to see her thrown into where she was before. So.
Yes, I agree. And like I said, anytime they bring people back that were in the spotlight before, and it seemed like when they first started a little over a year ago, they seemed like they wanted to spotlight her. She was on Dynamite quite often. So hopefully they can just pick up where they left off. And obviously, most of all, hopefully she stays healthy because that's a really tough injury to come back from, and it's hard to come back from that injury. So hopefully she stays healthy and she gets out there. Yeah, Chris Statlander is my favorite AEW women's wrestler, says Nathan. I'm sure you're not the only one. She is very popular. I'm so shocked when she made her return to AEW during the main event match. Funny enough, Wednesday, I only watched Chris Statlander versus Orange Cassidy versus Kimberly on IWTV, and then she returned that night. There you go. You predicted it by watching that show. So there you go. Awesome. All right. Well, there you go. I guess that is our news for the week.
That's it, man. So back by popular demand. We're gonna bring this up, and then I'll talk for a couple minutes.
Go right in.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're gonna hear about it.
It's everyone's favorite segment of the Insiders podcast. My oh my, did this become a popular segment? It is the time for the airing of grievances. Yes, and this week it's Jeff's turn. Yeah. Jeff's got something he's got to get off his chest. I had mine last week. So, Jeff, the floor is yours, my friend.
I just want to know how this segment got more over than me and you.
Yeah, I know, right?
But, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Mad Jeff and Joe segment, yes. Yep.
So, okay. This is I'm trying to be nice. No, I'm not going to try to be nice about it. Screw that.
No, you can't be nice when you're airing grievances, yeah.
It's called airing of grievances. People. All right. Fans, wrestling fans. I love your enthusiasm. I love your energy. But a lot of you have the nerve to discuss a wrestler's physique, their technical abilities in the ring, their promo skills. Now, before I say what I'm about to say, all of us are welcome to have an opinion. Every single one of us. However, if you are not an expert on promos or in-ring work or a character, and you've never stepped foot into a wrestling ring, if your only wrestling is with your teddy bears, and there's a funny story behind that one day we'll share.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting about that, but yeah, one day that's going to have to be. Yeah.
world I could ever forget that. It was funny.
Yeah.
But it kind of goes with this. Like, if the only wrestling you've done is with your teddy bears, you have no grounds to approach a wrestler on Twitter and critique their in-ring ability and tell them that if you were them, you would do this sequence that way and end it with this move. Who the heck are you? Have you ever taken a bump? Probably not. The only bump that you've probably taken is you've probably pressed a pimple on your face and popped that bump. Other than that, you have not taken a bump in a ring. Have you ever cut a promo? Have you ever cut a promo? Probably not. So if you haven't, what gives you the right to go to a wrestler and tell them, you know, this really sucked, or, you know, you just didn't sell that DDT the right way? How about you step out of your mom's basement and not be a huge douchebag? How about that? Like, I mean, you know, you're talking about that, and I mean, like I said, I mean, you watch wrestling a long time. Then you have the nerve to be a wrestling elitist. And what I mean by that is you talk about, well, this wrestler, you know, the indie promotion that they came from is much better than, you know, this one. So I'm only going to follow this guy. Screw you. Like, I mean, just really, it's not like we're talking about, oh, I went to an Ivy League school and I'm going, you know, I studied to be an attorney, so I went to an Ivy League school. It's wrestling, people. Most training schools teach the same stuff because it's basically learning the fundamentals and then adding onto that. And if you've never been to a class, then shut your freaking mouth. Like, just shut up. Nobody wants to hear it. We don't care. So here's my thing. The next time, and I know Lazan asked me who am I talking about. I am not going to say this person's name on here. All I'm going to say is next time someone hops in my DMs and tells me that a wrestler is not good technically, and they list out 2 or 3 things that they don't sell well, and when I ask you, okay, well, do you have any experience in the business? And your answer to me is, yes, I've watched it for over 15 years. I'm going to expose you. Because that's the kind of crap that drives wrestlers, people in the business, crazy. Like, it drives them absolutely crazy. You think that and you know what? Rohit said this on our show. He said it. Most of these wrestlers, if they didn't have to be on social media to get themselves over, because apparently that's how you do it nowadays. If you have a cool clip of a move that you do in somebody's backyard, now apparently you're a wrestling superstar and deserve TV time. But these guys and ladies don't want to be harassed on social media by someone who's only been watching something that they put time and effort into every day. So the next time somebody hops into my DM saying something like that, oh, and by the way, the next time you tell me, and I'm not even going to talk about the company that they said, but they told me, well, I prefer this kind of wrestling because they tell stories with everything they do. And my response to that person was, well, you and I aren't watching the same show because, flips don't count as storytelling. Okay? Like, flips are nice when it comes to showing athleticism and acrobatics and setting up a move. But just because someone does one every week doesn't mean that that's a part of storytelling. It just means they're hella athletic, and that's just what they do. So, enough about that. I had to get that off my chest because I swear some of you self-righteous wrestling fans who, because you watch Ric Flair take a bump in 1992, think you know everything about wrestling, just need to shut your freaking mouths. And the next time, I wish I had a ring, because I just, like, once this pandemic is over, I would take that ring and I would drive it to that person's house. I would set it up by myself and I would say, okay, take a bump. And I would just wait for you to screw something up so I can be on you like you're on these people. Because, and this is no shade to any other jobs or anything, but nobody comes to your job and they're like, oh, you know what? You didn't type up that report the right way. It really sucked, that the way that you had your hands on the keyboard, that's just not technical. You were hunting and pecking. I mean, that, you got to know about your home row keys, Nobody comes to your job and do that. So why are you going to other people and critiquing their stuff when nobody does that to you? So I'll shut up now, Joe.
It's all good, dude. I agree with you. I used to see that, and it used to annoy the shit out of me even before we started this show. And again, you see this so much on social media. It's like everybody just feels like they're entitled to critique anyone. And it's not only, a lot of it is entertainers that get it. I used to see it with movie people. Like they got on, like the one that I'm thinking about, they got on this director in particular about a movie that he directed. And people, the general consensus was they didn't like it, basically saying that this guy ruined everything and blah, 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 blah. And they got on him so bad. Like all he was getting was garbage every single day. And I'm like, look, you cannot like something. It's okay. You can do that. But this guy is a film director. Like, you can't come out and start calling him out on things about film directing because you've never done it. Like, you've never done any of this crap in your entire life. You're sitting and watching movies, but that doesn't give you the right to come out and tell him how to direct it. It's a similar thing. So, yeah, like, just, here's the thing. And Jeff quoted this once before on our show. Herman Edwards, man. Herman Edwards. Think before you hit the send button.
Yes.
Just stop and think before you hit the send button.
Yes.
Because that's what, so much could be saved in our world. So much could be happier. It could be so many more sunshine and rainbows if people just stop to think for 2 seconds. For 2 seconds. You guys all try this. Seriously, like all of you try it. One day when you're like just pissy and you're hot under the collar and you're mad about something, when you are going to send that, just stop. Just like think to yourself, all right, you know what? I'm going to think, yeah, Joe told me to give myself 2 seconds. I'm going to give myself 2 seconds and stop and just think to yourself what that's going to mean after you send it. Because I think that's what happens. People just do things at the spur of the moment on social media and boom, before you know it, it's sent. And I don't even think that they want to do it. I think it's something in their head that's just saying, yeah, I got to do this right now. I got to get my opinion. Boom. But just stop and think for a couple seconds, man. That's all it takes sometimes.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
I mean, honestly, leaving something in your drafts may be the difference between getting another job if you want another job.
Yep.
And not, because if you think people don't look at stuff from social media,
oh yeah,
tons of stories where I've worked in places that the first thing we do when we see your resume is we go look at your social media, and it's real easy to find unless you go private, and even then there are ways around it. So just think sometimes. And I mean, unless you want someone to come down to your job and stand there and watch you and critique you on how you're a sandwich artist at Subway or something to that effect, like, just stop.
Yep.
Stop.
Yep. I agree. It would make the world a much happier place, man. That's like I said. We talk about enjoying things, but just because you enjoy things doesn't mean you have the right to go and rip crap apart. Especially when these people obviously do this professionally. They do this as a job. If it's a peer-to-peer kind of a thing, okay, you might have a little bit more of leverage there. But man, when you're just sitting home watching something. It just, yeah, I agree. I agree, Jeff.
When's the last time a football fan got onto Twitter and tweeted at Tom Brady and told him that he was holding the ball wrong?
Yeah.
Or that, he's just not hitting that out route on that fifth step every time. Like, he's just not doing it the right way. I got a ton of those, but I'll stop.
No, it's worth saying. It's worth saying. Very good, Jeff. Well, there you go. There is our airing of grievances segment for this week. As I said, it's become our most popular segment on the show. So when we feel the need that we have to do that, we will certainly continue to do that. And I hope you will continue to enjoy it. Rusty wants a meatball sub now from Subway.
I want a sub. I brought it up. Now I want one. So
I like the chicken teriyaki personally from Subway. So that's good stuff. All right. What have we got next up, Jeff? I think we are ready for our debate segment, aren't we?
That's right, man. Let's bring it in.
All right. So we are at the time where we are going to sell or no sell. And these segues always come to pass. And here is a segue. So topic number 1, Jeff, is about, and I'm not going to say it. I promised myself I wouldn't do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it all. When we have that non-PG stream, I'm going to lay into it. So just be prepared. It's going to happen. I'm going to say it many, many, many times during the show. I'm not going to do it right now because it's not the time. It's not the place. But topic number 1, storylines are changing for WWE due to Peacock streaming service. I am selling this hardcore. Yes. Jeff and I talked about this just the other day, and Jeff's like, yeah, we're on the same page. And I just mentioned it to him. I sent it over as a message to him saying, it's kind of like things are changing. And, when we brought this up for the last few weeks, we saw the Asuka and Rhea thing happen. Now we're seeing the Hurt Business stuff happen. Now we're seeing the Daniel Bryan stuff happen. So basically the question is it because of Peacock's influence? And I say, yes, it is. They're changing a lot of things and fans aren't happy about it. They're pulling a lot of stuff off the network. Now, look, I get why some of it is. I get it. And some of it probably should be. But there's other ways to do that kind of thing. If you don't want, other than removing it altogether, and if you don't want kids to see it, if that's the reason behind it, then put it in a different time slot. Put it where it has to come on late night when kids may be asleep. Put it on, put an adult only rating on it, something along those lines, right? But yes, they are pulling a lot of stuff off of there, and I do think they are changing storylines. I really do. This is their WrestleMania now. The network is done. This is their show. So what do they want to represent? What do they want to have represented on their network? And absolutely, they're going to have a big say in it. A big say in it. They paid Vince billions of dollars. So they are going to have a say in this. And I do believe, from what I'm seeing, that the Peacock's beak has gotten into some of the storylines that are going forward to WrestleMania. And I think that's why some of this stuff that we're seeing that has recently started to happen, I think that's why it's happening. What do you think, Jeff?
You know where I'm at.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think the same thing. I mean, listen, at some point in the very near future, it's possible that there are going to be people who download the Peacock app and they're going to think that we're lying that the Attitude Era existed, because pretty soon it's going to be gone.
Yeah.
Because at all times, everything was like at a different level during the Attitude Era. So that whole era essentially is going to be wiped away, more than likely, because if they are worried about inappropriate stuff, then that's not gonna be a good look. And on a side note, when did anyone ever think that you'd be like, you know what, I miss that darn WWE Network?
Yeah.
I really miss that. I mean,
It's like the Cinderella song, Jeff. You don't know what you've got till it's gone.
I know. But yeah, it's definitely changing some storylines. We're seeing that unfold right before us. Hopefully it doesn't make certain things change a lot. But Peacock, they paid the money. They get a say. They get to decide what it does. My thing is, if I'm WWE and they do get rid of a bunch of stuff, I think there should be some type of vault, digital vault, video vault that people can go to,
right,
get that stuff. Because I mean, you could just, I love the Attitude Era. I don't want that whole thing gone. But anyway, I think that they have definitely gotten some things changed. And like you were alluding to earlier, this may be one of the reasons the Hurt Business disbanded.
Could be.
This very well could be one of the reasons why.
Yep.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they start doing some different stuff with Riddle. Because people can put two and two together and see that the type of gimmick that he has. So
you mean Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Right. At some point, I'm just gonna look for him to say lines from the movie. Like that's.
Yep.
Maybe they're doing a remake and he's brushing up for the character. I don't know, but
could very well be
at this point. But yeah.
I mean, one week you're gonna. It's gonna happen one week, or you're just gonna find him. He's gonna come out of a door, and you're just gonna see a big puff cloud of smoke follow him outside of the door, and just come out in a big puff of smoke. So I look, yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I think they have a hand in it. You're not going to give somebody billions and billions of dollars to put something on a network that is your network. This is not WWE's network. Look, NBC is huge. And that's what this is. And I think that, they are putting their hands in the pot, and what they're doing, I don't think it's right. Look, I get it. I do. And I'm sensitive to stuff. I get it. I understand some things maybe shouldn't be shown anymore. They were asking Mark Henry on Busted Open about the Nation of Domination thing and about the whole thing with DX, and Mark Henry kind of stood back a little bit and said, look, I get it. I understand that people may not want to see that, particular thing. But he said, look, I was involved in that. And he said, it's part of the Attitude Era. It's part of the history of wrestling. It was a segment. It was a shoot. It was a promo. And he said, do I think it should be gone forever, never to be seen again? No. And he said, now maybe, and that's what he was the one who actually started suggesting doing different things like you were, and putting it on a different way, letting people watch it a different way, give it a rating if you have to, something like that. But yeah. I definitely think that they've got their hands in the pot, and they're definitely changing things. He says, I disagree with the majority on this. I think a lot of stuff happened in the Attitude Era that doesn't belong in the modern world. With cancel culture, you can't blame Peacock. Well, no, I get it. It is what it is. But I just think that they are, I don't know, we might be wrong. I'm not saying we're 100% right on it, but I think that things are changing for a reason. And they're saying that Vince changed things. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see going forward.
The money might be talking very loudly at the moment.
$5 billion is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. No, I mean, but that's a fair point by C.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were some things that, I'll say this. Maybe this number is too low. 85% of the stuff that happened in the Attitude Era would never even see the light of day or discussed today.
No.
Maybe 85% is too low. Maybe it's higher than that. But
I mean, there were things that the whole Edge and Lita thing. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And now Lita's coming back, kind of talking about how it made her uncomfortable and things like that. And I could certainly see why. So yes, that kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, there are things that should be gone. The thing is, where do you draw the line? That's, I guess, maybe what my point is where do you draw the line? Are you just going to eliminate the whole thing and just take the whole Attitude Era out? Are you going to chop it up in little bits and pieces and only put certain matches on? Like, where do you draw the line? And if that's the case, well, then I don't know. I mean, somebody in the chat said that, maybe put it back out on, release stuff back out on DVD again. Yep. Maybe just do that. Maybe say, okay, you don't get the Attitude Era on Peacock anymore, but here, we're going to put out an Attitude Era box set, so go buy it. And maybe that's the solution. And then this way people can go buy whatever it is they want to. So, All right, man. What is the next topic?
That's a good discussion on that one.
It was, yeah, very good. Thank you to the chat for getting involved.
Oh, boy.
This is going to be a popular one.
Going to piss some people off.
Oh, this is going to be a popular topic.
Damn that guy who comes up with these topics. This damn.
We already have a no from Azan. Mr. Kenny Omega is one of the 5 best wrestlers in the world right now. Sell or no sell? Jeff, I will let you start this one. Hello, Jody. Just stopping by to say hello before I go to bed. Love you guys. Hello, Jody. How are you? Hope you are well. Good night. Get good rest. Jeff, what do you think?
I'm gonna do this, and I feel the need to duck, even though I'm.
I love it. Avoid the virtual tomatoes. He's gonna get tossed at virtual tomatoes. Oh, Jeff's gone. Jeff's avoiding the tomatoes.
I think if you haven't seen a lot of them, then I definitely understand. Maybe if you're judging this off of his AEW run thus far, I get it. But for me, just taking everything into account, I think personally that he is right now. That's for active people. Now, if people are saying Kenny Omega is one of the top 5 of all time, no. But I think if you factor in what he's done in Japan, he maybe I'm wrong, and it's fine. We all have our top 5s.
Right.
He will be number 5 on my top 5. So if that tells you anything, it's like I was teetering on, does he belong in there or not? So, but, and yeah, happy early birthday to Jody. Her birthday is tomorrow, so happy early birthday to
Let's
you.
do it. They say it's your birthday. Yes, happy birthday, Jody. Happy early birthday. Enjoy your day tomorrow. Hope you have a great birthday. So yes, absolutely enjoy that. Hope you get some cake and some gifts and some stuff. I almost had several Bray Wyatt masks I could have given you. Thanks to my debacle that I almost if you hadn't heard, I I went on last night at midnight to try to get that new Bray Wyatt mask, which I ended up doing finally. But they canceled all of my earlier orders. And then the second order, I accidentally ordered 2. And I was not paying attention because I was just trying to do it really, really quickly. So I literally almost ended up with 4 masks. And I would have been divorced. My wife would have left me. There wouldn't have been no question about it. Instantaneously, I would have been booted out of the house. Spending close to $1,000 on masks, which I didn't want in the first place. But thank God they all got canceled except for the last one. So yes. But see, Jody, I could have given you a mask for your birthday, but that they WWE kind of screwed that. So I got a new mic for the show. Well, that's cool. Very cool. Microphones are awesome. Very, very cool. Well, I hope you enjoy your birthday. All right. So, man, this is a tough question. The thing is, you gotta you almost have to have in your head a top 5 to start out with.
Right.
So you almost have to kind of think of what. At least I'm still at Marley. No, they would keep the dog. Rusty, I'd be out the door without the dog, without everything else. But yeah, you have to kind of have a top 5 in mind, right? So that's the first place you would look to start. And like Jeff said, it's not only a body of work from him that he's doing right now, because we really haven't seen a whole lot of him other than tag team action before this current storyline. He did a lot of tag team wrestling. Now, the tag team matches were pretty good. Man, wow. For me, you know what? I'll sell it to, because I'm going to say he just makes it as Jeff did, as Jeff said. To compile a top 5, with all the promotions that are out there right now is tough. Because of everything that is out there, it's really hard to do. But look, he has a track record. He was amazing in New Japan. And what people I think are going to say that are going to argue the point is whether or not he lost stuff or he lost it from after he left New Japan. And I don't think so. But again, I kind of reserve the right on this, for my opinion, to kind of see what he brings, to see what comes next, and to see where this storyline goes. Look, as far as what he's doing now with this whole thing with Impact, it's all part of his story, and he's doing, like we've said before, he's doing his job. Everybody hates his guts. Mm-hmm. Everybody absolutely hates his guts. And people on AEW hate his guts. So he is doing the job that he's supposed to be doing. And whatever the end game is here, we don't know what it is yet, but he's doing what he needs to do. He's making you hate him. And so, yeah, I think he makes the list. But again, I reserve judgment because I need to kind of see a little bit more. I don't know Kenny as well as Jeff does, because I didn't watch New Japan a lot. So I'll admit that right off. I haven't seen a lot of his work in New Japan. So I don't know to grade that and to say, but I do know what I've heard about him from New Japan. And a lot of it was very, very high praise. So, and not just from 1 or 2 people, it was high praise from a lot of people. So, yeah, I would have to agree. I would have to agree.
All right, well, we're going to move past this one so I don't get...
Yeah, we don't want Jeff getting bombed with any more tomatoes from the chat.
Oh, man. Topic number 3, Jazz should win the knockout title before retiring Joe Sell. Or no sell.
As much as I would love to see it, I'm going to no sell this. And the reason being is because... much like what we saw with Dreamer and Swan, I think that it's great to see it happen. It's great to see Deonna give her a shot. Deonna is so good that I think she could really, really make Jazz really look great in this match too. And I would trust her to do that. And I think it's going to be an excellent match. But also Deonna can do there can be some shenanigans that causes Jazz to lose. So it'll be almost like we were talking about Roman a little bit earlier, where if there's a run-in or if something happens or if, someone gets involved that shouldn't be involved and costs her the match, then that's an easier way to go out because she's not losing the actual match. She's not taking the pin. So, I'm going to say no sell it only because I only want to, I like what Deanna's doing. I love what she's done for the Impact women's division. She's carried that title. She's fought through opponent after opponent after opponent after opponent. And I kind of just want to see that continue until they build up the next person, the next big face that they're going to have come in and take that off of her, whoever that's going to be. So I think it would kind of derail that a little bit. And that's kind of why I'm saying no sell to it. So.
Gotcha.
They're still up. Go and order the other two. No, you really want to see me get kicked out of my house, don't you? See, you really just want to see me get kicked out.
I'm just laughing at the fact that Chris tried to put up a comment to us, and I'm kind of glad that it didn't.
Read my rant, you filthy animals. Oh no.
Listen, he got so pissed off that YouTube just wouldn't even post his comment. So I'm gonna translate his comment.
Oh God,
because the comment was it was just a profanity laced tirade by Chris. I swear to goodness, this man is trying to be Samuel L. Jackson here. So here we go, and I'm gonna. Are
you gonna bleep the bad words?
Yeah, I'm gonna TBS this thing from a movie standpoint. If you know what I'm talking about.
Beep 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 beep. Go ahead.
You rotten mother Fletchers. Fluff Kenny. Jeff, your food will need a taste tester. Then there's quite a few emojis with curse words and some Stone Cold Steve Austin specials for those fans of the Attitude Era. So
wow,
I get it, Chris. I get it. You really, really, really don't like it. Like, I swear, if Chris could have taken a dump and put it in a DM, he would have done that.
He would have done it. He would have got a big bag of flaming poo delivered to your house.
So I'm gonna go quick on this because I'm gonna say don't get mad at me, but I love it.
Nah, that's cool, dude.
Even if she loses it 2 weeks later at Rebellion, and that's why I think it'll happen, is because I think she'll hold out just long enough to win it at Hardcore Justice, only to lose it at Rebellion, because I think a Jordan Grace heel turn is imminent.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's I could dig that. Yeah, and that's true. I mean, the pay-per-view, this pay-per-view is so close to Rebellion that, if you want to do that and you want to have a quick turnaround, you can certainly do that. And, and she could take it right back from her. So, it makes a lot of sense. I think Moda said he would sell. After what she's done for wrestling in general, she should hold the title one last time on her way out of the business. Yeah, that makes absolute perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Chris says he offends everyone. Oh, Jeff Samuel says Deanna wins. Agree. Jazz doesn't need. She's a legend. Look, different opinions on this one, so that's good. But hey, I can go either direction on it. If she does win it, I'm not going to be upset about it.
Sure.
So, all right. Well,
Wally, if you I know you were saying that you can't get the channel. If you have Twitch, you can watch it if you're interested in watching it.
Yep, you can. Twitch shows Impact Wrestling every week for absolutely no money. So you can certainly check that out. Yep, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Come and join us for the watch-alongs. Wally, yes. Yeah, you definitely can do that. So there you go. Cool. All right. Well, that is that. That is our debate segment for the week. And we hope you enjoyed that. And now I believe we are getting to the happy, smiling moments of the week.
Joe, don't we have a few things we need to announce?
Oh, we do. Look at that. I almost forgot. We do. Yes. So we are, well, first of all, we told you guys we have to move things around a little bit. We said it at the beginning of the show. So that is, yes, first things first. We will, just don't forget. So next week we already have the schedule out for next week. So next week, you guys all know it's going to be, we told you about it. It's, Monday Night Raw stream, Tuesday, Hall of Fame stream, Wednesday, Thursday, NXT TakeOver, Friday, the WrestleMania prediction show, and then Saturday, Sunday is Mania. So then we'll get back to it. And of course, I keep forgetting Abby's. We have Abby's Monday too before the Raw stream. So yeah, don't forget to go to Abby's as well. So yes, we are going to then have our Impact stream on Thursday nights. This show in particular will be moving to Saturday. So don't forget that. And then we are going to do a new show, Jeff. We are doing a new show. So there you go. And look, we have a returning show as well. Yep. So more new stuff coming up. You can see it on the board. We have 3 new shows. One of them is an old show that we're bringing back. So Brandy is back, ladies and gentlemen. Brandy is coming back to do the hot tag. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you are new to the channel and you have never heard the hot tag, it is Jeff, it is Brandy, and they talk all about classic wrestling. So if you like classic wrestling, you need to make sure you join the hot tag. They discuss legends. They've talked about The Undertaker in the past, Mick Foley, many more names, and there will be many more names to come as well. So make sure that you join Hot Tag on Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And Brandy is back. So yes, yay, Brandy is, yes. We all missed her and her wrestling knowledge and her extensive wrestling knowledge. So it's going to be great to have that show back. So make sure that you are going to watch that. It's going to have a new look to it, I believe. Jeff's working on some new stuff for that. So don't forget to check Hot Tag out every single Friday. All right. And then the next one is called After the Impact, which I really love because there is a before the Impact, BTI, which goes on. Well, this is called After the Impact. This is a non-PG stream that will happen after Impact is over, 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That starts on April 15th. That's going to be pretty cool. Because we will be able to react to what we saw on Impact Wrestling. We kind of took a little thing from our friend Conrad. Conrad does a show similar with AEW. He does an AEW kind of a follow-up show. So we're going to be doing an Impact follow-up show, and we're going to talk all about what we saw on the show. And, storylines, this and that, what we saw, what we liked, what we didn't like. So that will be happening on April 15th, and that is non-PG. Yes, James Chadwick. So you can come on and you can cuss out Johnny Swinger and Caleb with a K all you want to. And maybe we will join in. So yes. So there you go. So it's After the Impact. And then, of course, you can see on the bottom, our podcast will be on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is where we will do what we are doing today, and we will wrap up the whole week that was in wrestling. So, kind of cool. It'll be on a Saturday. It'll be on a weekend. I know that some of you guys watch UFC and stuff like that, and that's perfectly cool. But if you want to catch the show, watch it on a second screen, drop in and say hello, whatever the case might be. But we will have that on Saturdays. Now, you may ask what's going to happen when Impact has a pay-per-view. Well, that's a good question. If they do, we will obviously be streaming the pay-per-view. And then I don't know, because they usually end those pretty late on Saturdays. They go usually until 11. So we tried to avoid having a late show. because we could have done it after 10 and stuff, but that gets shaky because number one, Jeff and I have day jobs. Number two, we know all of you guys, some of you stay up very late the way it is to watch us from overseas. And, some of you have jobs like us and stuff like that to have to get up the next day. So being on another show, starting at 10, going to midnight is just not very good. So that's why we avoided that. And we want to kind of keep it around the same time that we're doing now. So that's why we decided on Saturdays. So we'll see when the time comes, when Impact does their pay-per-views and what we'll do with the show. We may decide to skip it that week, or we may decide to move it to somewhere. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So yeah, exciting stuff. New stuff coming out. We did not forget about the non-PG stream. I want to make that clear. We didn't forget. I had a couple people ask me about that. We did not forget about it. We will be doing it. More than likely, it was always probably going to be after Mania anyway, because there's just too much going on. So it was always going to be after Mania. We'll pick a week when we don't have a whole ton going on that week, where it's maybe only just the regular shows that we have, and then we'll decide to do it. And we could even do that maybe 1 week, even in place of the podcast. We can do that maybe on a Saturday night at 9:00 in place of the podcast, and we'll do it then. So we did not forget about that. But there you go. So there is our new schedule. Again,
hot tag April 16th.
April 16th. Okay. All right. 16th. So there you go. So the 15th and 16th. So there you go. And then the 17th. So all in 1 week, these will all be starting up. So there you go. Make sure if you are subscribed to our channel, make sure you hit the notifications button, especially now with the new shows coming on. You'll want to know when we will have these new shows on. So very cool that Brandy's coming back, and she will be back to talk about the classic wrestling. So very cool. All right, man. I believe we have our favorite moments of the week.
Yes, that's it. We do. So here we go.
All righty.
I feel like this is so grand.
It is. Yeah, it's majestic, isn't it?
It's majestic. In ways.
It is. It's majestic. All that gold like shining and stuff in there. Yeah, there you go. All right, Jeff. Start us out. What's your number 3?
Man, my number 3 moment of the week. I gotta say, man, it was great seeing the wild man himself, the Wildcat, Chris Harris.
Oh yeah, very cool.
That was cool. That was cool. So, it took me back a few years. And it was just good to see, and hopefully we get those 8. Hopefully we get those 8 in a match at Hardcore Justice. And I'm talking about Violent by Design. Obviously, we know that that's taped, but Violent by Design, Eric Young, Rhino, Diener, and Joe Doring up against the America's Most Wanted, I guess, 2.0 with James Storm and Chris Harris. And who am I missing here? Jake something. And who else am I missing? I'm missing someone. Chris Sabin?
Chris Sabin.
Yeah. So I hope that's what we get. I really do hope that's what we get. So
yeah, that'd be cool, man. That'd be very cool. For me, my number 3 was, and sometimes it's just the smallest little things. Right? The smallest little things, the smallest little gesture. But to me, because I love her character, but when Su Yung kind of put her head down and she held on to the side of her, held on to the side of her head, and you just got that little glimpse that Su Yung wasn't totally gone. And I think that's great. Again, it's more of a build. It's more storytelling. It's showing people. And yes, do people like Susan? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So now you're kind of getting that tease. And I like how they did it. They mentioned it to her, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Who? What? Who are you talking about?" Like, and then all of a sudden, like, something got in her head. Mm-hmm. And then, so now you're getting that little tease of whether she's going to come back and how soon she's going to come back. Now, maybe she'll come back as Susie and it won't be Su Yung right away. So maybe she'll come back as Susie and then kind of start the whole process. But I think that's cool. I like little things like that maybe a casual fan or somebody who was just watching the show may not have caught, or somebody that hasn't seen that persona may not have caught that. But I think that's great. I really think it's cool. I really think it was cool, and I'm excited to see. But God help Scott D'Amore if they do that on Hardcore Justice. God help him. God help him. God help him. Oh, man. All right, Jeff. Let's see what some people. Su Yung on the latest episode of ARW on Fight won their women's title. Ooh, very cool. That's cool. That's very cool. Hayden Garrett said Christian Cage wins his AEW Dynamite match. Yes, Christian did win his match on AEW. Yes, that was very cool. Let me see what some more of you people are saying. Oh, Jeff's reminding people, go check out the Hot Tag playlist. Yeah, if you're new to the channel and haven't checked that out yet, go check that out. It's good stuff. If you want to hear a lot of knowledge dropped on some older wrestlers and older characters, go and check those out. Absolutely. If we go back years for Joe, Pebbles and Bam Bam will be guests on the show. What's wrong with Pebbles and Bam Bam, dude? See, now Chris is attacking me. See what happens? He gets all fired up. Right? He gets all fired up about Kenny Omega, and then boom. Who does he take it out on? Me. Oh, I don't know, Chris. I don't know. All right, Jeff, what was your number 2, man?
Number 2 moment of the week for me, we talked about it earlier, has to be Chris Statlander returning to AEW. She's been off, I want to say it's been a year, just about a year. And, it was really good seeing her back last night. I hope that we see her in some prominent storylines going forward. And this just continues to add depth to the women's roster with AEW. And for so long, people have said, oh, well, they just don't have the experience. They don't have this. They don't have that. No excuses anymore.
Yeah.
No excuses anymore.
Yep. No. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good one. And and like I said, we wish her well and hope she's able to pick up back where she left off right away. I was the elder in the village when Pebbles and Bam. Oh, God. I was the village elder in the Flintstones. Is that what I was? What does that make me? Was I like Mr. Slate? Was I the boss of the village? That's pretty cool, dude. Hey.
Better to be the village elder than the village idiot.
That's true.
That
is very true. That's a very good statement. Yeah, I like that. That's very true. My number 2, I'm going back to Impact for this. When Mr. Omega and Mr. Callis visited Swingers Palace. Dude, I love that gimmick. I love how they just keep stepping from they keep going from one to the other. It all started with Wrestle House, and they're continuing that now with the whole gambling casino thing. And I loved when they went in there. As it was like Jeff said, because we talked about before that show started, like, what are they going to do? If they keep appearing on here, is it going to get stale? Because, they keep coming out and kind of do it. If he came out to the ring again and cut another promo, that kind of stuff just gets old. But they went into there. And, Swinger thinks it was the greatest thing ever, and they're playing him, and they're making fun of him, and he's not even seeing it because he's too stupid to know he's being made fun of. I think that's great. I love the fact that they got involved with that. It's funny. And again, see, this is what you may hate it. You may hate it, and I get it. I get the hate, but at least they can do a funny side of it too. So not only do they show that, yes, they're doing the heelish, lousy stuff that all the Impact fans are really fired up about and can't stand, but at least they can get in a little funny as well. And it kind of shows you the depth. So you got some depth in those characters. And again, I compare it a lot to Bischoff and Hogan, because Bischoff was this little weaselly dude too, and he did similar things, and that's what Callis is doing. So I thought it was funny. I just thought it was a funny moment. I laughed, and whenever I can get a good laugh out of wrestling, I dig it. So that was my number 2 of the week. Joe in season 2 episode, what was that? Mr. Slate was revealed to be Barney Rubble's uncle. Whether this one time or canon is hotly debated. For Big Dan with a Flintstone factoid. There you go. All right.
Love it.
There you go. There you go. All right, Jeff. I just see Chris. I pissed Chris off again. There you go. All right. Twice in one night. Woo!
Funny. All right.
Delanio says, peace out. See you, Delanio. Thanks for joining. What's your number one, Jeff?
My number one was The Fiend on the swing. The moments that we got on Monday Night Raw, so much so impactful that we had to have another impromptu episode of Abby's Window. So it was pretty cool. Pretty cool moment. And, again, what Alexa continues to do on a week-to-week basis, and now you add in this new, revived version of The Fiend, who I still think I'm really hoping, even though I kind of feel like Peacock would be like, heck no to this, I was really hoping for an autopsy type scene.
That'd be cool, dude.
It would be really cool, but I just want to see something crazy at WrestleMania. So, but yeah, The Fiend and Alexa Bliss and Randy are just knocking it out of the park every week. So they are my number one.
I'm going to have to agree with you just because of how much I like that gimmick and how much I like the work that they're doing. Like you said, kudos to Alexa. We've seen changes from her on a week-to-week basis. You just see little subtle things happening there, whether it's a new kind of, a different color eyeshadow or, the little bit more white on her face. She is changing. You guys were talking early in the show about possibly getting a mask. Wouldn't be shocked if it happened. But it was cool. Look, it was a cool moment. Jody kind of called it on Abby's, and that's why we went on afterwards to talk about it. Wouldn't it be cool to see? Now, some people said, well, maybe it'd be Funhouse Bray swinging next to her, but obviously no. She's sitting there, and she turns around, and he's sitting right there next to her on the swing, which. Look, and, again, this is right afterwards or not long afterwards, about 15, 20 minutes or so afterwards, I started to see people taking the picture and people making fun of it and saying all this kind of stupid, silly stuff. But look, if you know what, again, and I'll say this, and I say this a bazillion times, if you don't like it, turn it off. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. But then don't sit there and make fun of it because all it's making you look like is a hypocrite. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is fantastic. I think wherever they're going with it is great. We still don't know because we got nothing. We don't know what the match stipulations are going to be. Everybody's kind of hoping we find out on Monday. We don't know if we will. But I think it's great. And I love what they're doing. And, whether she's controlling him, we don't know. We don't know much. We really don't know much. But I think it's fantastic. And I want to keep seeing them do it. As long as they can, as long as this storyline goes, and get yourselves prepared, guys, because we're all going to mark the F out when we're watching WrestleMania with this. I'm going to tell you right now, the rumor is this could be one of the biggest WrestleMania entrances ever. That is the rumor that's going around. This is supposed to be just a blow your mind kind of entrance to that ring. And I don't doubt it. After all this has led up to, it kind of deserves that. And if this is something that is coming out of Bray Wyatt's mind, of course, working with Randy Orton, who's done a tremendous job this entire time, and something with Alexa, think of the things we got at Mania's previous, right? Think of that big, huge entrance we got from Triple H and Stephanie with all of the armor and the stuff, and things like that. We've got the Undertaker entrances that we got. We've seen some amazing wrestling entrances, and I think we are in for something with this. And man, we may mark out from the beginning of that match until the very end of that match is done. But dude, I can't wait. I am super, super excited, and I know a lot of you are as well. So
yeah.
Couldn't be anything else for me either. Because right along, it's been so fun, and it's been so great to mark out to all that stuff. So awesome. Somebody tell me why Mr. McMahon will start a storyline and drop it once it starts getting good, and he'll drop the storyline like the Hacker storyline. Don't be, Wally, so sure that it's Vince that's doing that. Don't be so sure that it's Vince that's doing that. I know he has a lot of say in the writing and stuff like that, but don't be so sure that he's necessarily dropping storylines, because he's got a lot of people that are doing more and more stuff now. So don't be so sure. But yeah, look, it's something that happens everywhere, dude. And there's so many, we talked about it earlier in the show, there's so many factors that can play into that, and who can have a say in, and you know, why people have a say. And like I said, there was a writer let go, so obviously someone lost their job for something that happened. So yeah, it, you know, hey, it is what it is. Is everybody perfect all the time? No. There's going to be, you know, there's going to be bad things that are going to happen on any wrestling show. It's just going to happen. It's just the way it is. Just the way it is. Yep. All right. Well, there you go. I don't know if I saw Jessie Calynn.
I haven't. So hopefully while we're talking about this, hopefully she shows up.
Yeah, Jessie's not. Well, I know she's got work and stuff like that, so you know, maybe she just couldn't get back from work. But Jessie, if you're out there, now is the time. If you're not, maybe we can get a couple people in the chat to tell us some jokes to in honor of Jessie Calynn to end the night on a good note. So. We have lighter side of the ring.
That's right. And of course, my graphic didn't load. Joe, so give me a second, Joe.
All good.
And I will get that graphic added.
All good. We like to talk about, and we like to start this whole segment by talking about something we think is funny in the world of wrestling, or we think that is really funny. Chris has jokes. I imagine you do. And I also imagine we're probably not going to be able to read any of them. So, yes. Chris says we're blessed tonight. Oh, you guys are awful. You guys are awful. How is C Wrestling going to get his sleep? How's he going to get his sleep? But, so, yes. Let's talk a little bit about this guy, because this guy literally makes me laugh every time I see him do stuff. This, if you don't know him, is Danhausen. He is now in Ring of Honor. He was on the indie circuits for quite a long time, and probably one of the most known indie wrestlers that is out there. And I'm telling you what, I've seen videos from this guy where I will literally laugh until I'm crying because of the stuff that he does. Dude, I think he does some hilarious stuff. I'll go back to one that I remember, Jeff, with him, and it was more recent when they came out with the PWI Insider magazine. Oh my God. He literally films these little things, and he talks about looking, and he'll call people like these crazy names, and he'll say, and what did he call John? He called John Moxley something. There's Mr. Mox,
Moxleyhausen or
Moxleyhausen, or he always adds Hausen to it, or this, but he was talking about the people that got picked. And then he saw himself on the list, and he was like he was like 110, 117 on the list or something like that. And then the next thing you know, he gets to the end and he flips out. And he said he apparently like doesn't, you know, like his character, he can't curse. No, like no swearing, right? So all of a sudden he will just flip out, and they'll just bleep everything. And his big thing is he said, "They will rue the day." And I absolutely love that. Oh my God. I crack up laughing every time I hear it. And he flipped shit because he wasn't voted first on the PWI Insider. Went so far as to even go at the editor of the magazine and saying and that's what he said, "You will rue the day." And oh my God, I can go back and watch that again and again, even though I've seen it several times, and every time I laugh, I crack up laughing. And I think that's amazing. If you've got that kind of talent that you can get people to laugh and smile at something that you're doing, I think that's absolutely great. I watched him eat a box of donuts. They brought in a box of donuts, and I sat and watched him eat donuts, and he literally is sitting there and eating and he's like, and he just throws the donut on the floor. Look, this guy is hilarious. He deserves look, he's at Ring of Honor now. He's getting some more attention. He deserves it. He's worked hard to make this character be what it is and to truly entertain people. He even got CM Punk involved recently, Jeff.
Yeah.
He had CM Punk involved because he used one of CM Punk. He used the GTS. Yeah. And what did CM Punk say? I can't remember what Punk said to him. He said something about, but now he has a shirt about it. He literally has a shirt about using that move. But yes, and Warhorse. Yeah, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Warhorse too, because Warhorse, I like him too. I think he's hilarious as well. The whole Warhorse rules ass thing, I think, is hilarious. He's like a metal guy from the 80s. And he has the long hair and the two of them together are absolutely hilarious, and this guy deserves all the credit in the world for making people laugh, Jeff. I like him. I love what he does.
Listen, love that Danhausen. Very nice, very evil. There's Marley.
There's Marley. Marley is barking.
But no, I mean, Danhausen, he's great. And check him out. Check him out on Ring of Honor, because he does some great stuff in the ring, and his facial expressions and everything. I mean, it's just an entire character. It's just an entire gimmick. And honestly, you see his videos on Twitter. Just do yourself a favor. If you don't know this guy and you're like, who in the heck is Danhausen?
Yep.
Go look up his Twitter account. He is so awesome. The whole thing with PWI will make you laugh. I mean, just that whole thing, like Joe said, and just some of his other videos. Like anytime he and Xavier Woods interact with each other on Twitter, it's always funny. He just comes out and says random stuff. He had people doing cameos for him at one point. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, it's just check him out if you haven't seen him. He's amazing.
Marley loves Danhausen. She does. She does love Danhausen, yes. But yeah, I agree with Jeff. He deserves attention. He's a great talent. He's got a gift, and he's got a gift to make people laugh. And that's not an easy thing to do. If you can do that, it's a wonderful thing. It's great stuff. So go check him out. Check out his Twitter. Check him out on. He's got a cameo. I think he does cameos now too. He's got a Patreon out there, and then of course he's on Ring of Honor. So yes, go ahead and check him out. You will not be sorry. It's great stuff. It really is.
Subscribe to him on YouTube too.
Yep, absolutely. He's done some hilarious interviews too. Really, really funny interviews. So, all right. Well, I think we see Jesse Calynn. Jesse's here. Hey, see wrestling. Now you can go to sleep. See, he was a little worried, Jesse, that he might not have gotten to go to sleep tonight. He was a little concerned. He was a little worried about that. So Jesse is here. So Jesse, you're up. We're at that point in the show. What we do this every single week. Jesse says, "Yay! I have a gift." Jesse has a gift. Uh-oh. What's the gift? What's the gift? The gift of comedy. Anyway, while Jesse gets ready, I will again go over what we've got coming in now. Of course, we are done for this week, and we need to be, because we need to rest up, because we've got a huge week. Landon, awesome. Hello, Landon. We've got a big schedule coming up. We have, of course, starting on Monday, we have Abby's Window, so make sure you join us for that. That will be the Abby's right before the Raw that we are going to stream that night, so we will be doing Raw as well for the first time in a long time. I think we might have done one prior Raw. But then Tuesday, we have the Hall of Fame. We will be streaming the Hall of Fame, so make sure you join us for that. Wednesday, Thursday, we will switch over and go over to Tazzy's channel, and we will be joining DJB Tazzy for NXT TakeOver Night 1 and NXT TakeOver Night 2. So we'll be there for both of those with Tazzy. On Friday, we will have our prediction show for WrestleMania, where we will tell you what we think, who we think will win. That will be after SmackDown on that Friday. I have a list up on Twitter, but I'll keep putting that list back up about the times and things like that, so you'll know what times we will be on. And then, of course, Saturday and Sunday, we will stream our first ever WrestleMania. So that's cool. We're excited about that. We're excited to have you guys join us. and we will be streaming our first ever WrestleMania with you guys, which will be a lot of fun. So join us for Mania Night 1 and Night 2, and then we're right back again on Monday for Abby's Window, which will probably be a huge Abby's Window. Huge Abby's Window following that match. So don't miss that. And then we go right back to our regular scheduled stuff, as you saw up on the screen. And we have those new shows coming up as well. So, all right. Jesse says, I have one joke because I ran out of time trying to figure out one stupid DoorDash who won't put my apartment number on my address. Losers. Damn DoorDash. Also, the gift is that I'm funny. There you go. It's the gift of comedy. See, I told you. Jesse's gifting everyone in the chat $20. It's a gift of money. Woo! All right. So Jesse has a joke. What time does the Hall of Fame start on the Peacock app? Wally, that's a great question. I want to say it's 8:00. Whenever they had the Hall of Fame on before, it's always been 8:00 on USA Network. So I'm kind of assuming it's going to be at 8:00. So if they start at 8, we'll probably start at 7:30. So here we go. Here comes Jesse's one joke. I went to the butcher's the other day, and I bet him $50 that he couldn't reach the meat on the top shelf. He said, no, the stakes are too high. Oh, very good. Very good. Big Dan says, what do you give Godzilla when he has diarrhea? Plenty of room. Lori, hey, just stopping in during SVU commercials. LOL. Hello, Lori. How are you? Hope you are doing well. Well, Jesse, thank you very much. I know I wasn't sure we were gonna have you on tonight, but thank you for joining us. Really appreciate that. We get to send people home with a smile. So there you go. Lots of stuff again tonight, guys. We had some big announcements about shows that we got coming up, and many, many things other than that. So, yeah, that's it. It's been a great show as always. Thank you all for coming out to watch. We really, really appreciate that. We hope you will join us for all our shows we have coming up. We hope you will join us for Mania Week. And if you're watching someone else, stop by and just say hello. We won't bite. We promise. There you see our schedule. That's our regular scheduled programs. On the left, you see Abby's at 6. You see Impact Wrestling Now is on Thursdays at 7. And then you see After the Impact, which is our new non-PG stream. That will be at 10:15 right after Impact. Hot Tag returns, and then you also have our podcast, which will now be on Saturday. So that is our schedule going forward. So, Jeff, any last thoughts before we head on out of here?
Get some rest this weekend. Next week will be crazy.
That's true. Everybody get some Yes. Watch King Kong and Godzilla because, yes, I've heard good things, and I'm probably going to go watch it now if I can. I think it's only a 2-hour movie, so I can probably get that in before bed. But, yes, get some rest. Like Conrad said, let's all have fun and enjoy this crazy wrestling week because, yes, it is going to be a crazy week coming up. A lot of streaming, a lot of you're going to be seeing our faces a lot. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, but, yep. You will. All right. So there you go. Chris says, great stream. Thanks, Chris. And thank you all for all of your participation in the chat. You guys were great tonight. You got a lot of thoughts out there. You had a lot of stuff that you wanted to say, a lot of things that you participated in. We really, really appreciate that. It's always great when you guys do that. So thank you all. Don't forget, it is Autism Week, and tomorrow is the celebration of that. So don't forget that. Again, if you feel like you want to give to a charity, it's a great charity to give to. So don't forget that tomorrow as well. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really, really, really appreciate that. Again, as we say all the time, stay safe. Have a great rest of your night. Enjoy SmackDown tomorrow, and hopefully we will see you all for some of the shows next week. Have a great one, everybody. Good night.